there, it's Built with Coffee, and today we're building a university residence in Britechester on a 30 by 20 lot. So for the first year of my undergraduate degree, I stayed in a student residence that used to be a chocolate factory, and they renovated the interiors to make it like livable, and so I was thinking for this student dorm, it could also have like an old-timey exterior and a renovated interior, similar to like my residence. And there could be exposed beams of like the original structure. And with any dorm, I made like the basic furnishings all the same, like the sink, the shower, the toilet, and wallpapers. And then the students kind of make their own space by adding decorations to make it feel like a home to them. So that's the basic idea. And I also installed a few communal spaces like the kitchenette, laundry room / utility space, mail rooms, a courtyard where they can eat or study, a lounge room with a fireplace, a ping pong, and a TV. And also there are some garden beds too. I really wish that we had full kitchens in here, because when you make the lot a university residence, they don't allow you to put in stoves. And my residence in real life was an apartment style, which meant that I had a kitchen, a bathroom, and a living room. But because my residence was actually like the farthest from campus, it was actually the cheapest option to live in. I know it sounds like a lot, but it was actually one of the cheapest options. And I absolutely loved it. Well, I didn't love it that much at first because I got placed in an apartment that was in the annex on the first floor, so I didn't have the high ceilings that most other folks did. I had really ugly tiles, and because the annex's first floor was like right at street level, they put bars over most of our windows, so it wasn't the homiest. Actually, one time I was studying in bed, and my window was right next to me, and my window curtains were drawn, and this particular window didn't have bars over it, and I heard some rustling on the window, and it sounded like someone was trying to open it from the outside. And I immediately panicked and went to go flicker the lights on and off to let the other person know that, there's someone in the room, and I don't know, maybe scare them off. And I was wearing Birkenstocks around the apartment because, they offer support for my flat feet. And if you are not familiar with Birkenstocks, they're like a really dense cork sandal. And so I was standing by the light switch, flickering the lights, and I took one of my Birkenstocks off and held it in my hands, ready to launch it at whoever was trying to come in through the window. But I was really lucky because the light flickering worked and they stopped pushing at the window. What's even scarier is that the next morning I heard that one of my neighbor's laptop got stolen. Them and their flatmates were in their living room, and someone had come in through the window in their own room, in their bedroom, and stole their laptop, they were still in the apartment and everything. And that could have been me, except I would have been in the room of that when that person came in, and that would have been much scarier. So the next morning, the maintenance people all gave us a piece of wood to jam our windows in case anything happens again. That was kind of scary, and I was really, really lucky. I eventually moved out of that apartment and into one in the main building, and it was so much nicer. I met one of my close friends in a class, and they happened to live in my residence, and they had two flatmates who were both moving out. One had to go home, and the other one wanted to move in with their new friends in a different apartment in our residence. And so my friends invited me to move in with them. And this apartment, let me tell you, was absolutely stunning. Something straight out of a movie. It was on the 3rd floor, so it had a very nice view. It had high ceilings, incredibly large industrial windows, and exposed wood columns and beams, and a wood ceiling. And there were 3 bedrooms, because there were 3 of them, and 2 bathrooms. So now that it was just the 2 of us, we each had our own bedroom, and we used the 3rd one as a study room / bar. So I went to school in Montreal, where it's the legal drinking age is 18. So it was normal to have, alcohol in the apartment. And yeah, I miss that apartment so much. It was beautiful. So I tried to recreate that spirit in the student residences, and I had an idea of what each student's personality and interests were. So that's how I kind of decorated their room. And so this first one is kind of like a plant mom type of person. And so I put a ton of plants in their room, and I try to decorate it with like little little plants, but also like little gardening things here and there. And as you can see, like there's the wood beams that I tried to like recreate to give that sort of like renovated feel. Not really industrial, because it's not really an industrial building, but just to show like where the original walls might have gone, and they like did some work, and now the beams are exposed, and it's a very, very open and very pretty. And I did play test to the best of my abilities. I didn't, try out everything, but most of the beds are sleepable. I'll point out one that might need a little bit of tweaking when you play with it, but yeah, for the most part, all good. It's all good. So this student here, their apartment is kind of in the tower. Not kind of in the tower, it is in the tower. So their windows are very low. There isn't as much light, so I tried to go a little bit more, a little bit more cozy, if that makes sense. A little bit moody. Not moody, it's not very moody, but like kind of cozy. So I put up these base game curtains that I never use. And they kind of inspired me to sort of think about this person as like maybe a theater person, because the curtains kind of look like theater curtains because they're red and very drapey. That's mostly it. But yeah, I kind of figured like maybe this person is a theater student, they're a drama student, and they kind of decorated their room like this. Maybe they like to put on shows in their apartment, so they've got a little platform that could be like the stage. Yeah, and I actually kind of surprised myself. I wasn't like absolutely loving this apartment in the beginning, but after I put those curtains and kind of cluttered it up with some like red colored? Yeah, red decorations, you know what I mean. Also the bathroom, that looks different than the other bathrooms. I will change it to match the other bathrooms, because I feel like that's just kind of like a residence thing where all the bathroom furnishings are kind of like similar, and then you just kind of decorate it to however you want. So the student that lives in this space is like a crafter, I think. Maybe they are a fashion student and they like make their own clothes and they cross stitch their own like accessories and stuff. And I really love this one because I never get to use the crafting desk. I haven't used it in a while, actually, and so I got to use it here, and I love it so much. I wish it came in more neutral colors. I know there's like a few in there already, but just more. But it works. I like this orangey shade. It goes well with this room, I think. And then I made this huge corner, their closet / like workstation as well. And I clutter that up a bit. I'll clutter it up more later as well. But I love it. It's so open. And I don't know why. All the apartments are the same size, but this one feels so much bigger. Like it has a massive bathroom and also a massive bedroom. I don't know. I think maybe I did a good job with the space organization in this one. But yeah, it's so cute. And the bathroom has a big windows, and I love that because the other ones are kind of like dingy and they don't even have windows. But that one was very cute. This room is kind of the opposite of the first one we did in the tower. It's a lot more colorful and vibrant. And I also put up curtains, not that they really need curtains, but I wanted to have something on the wall there. But yeah, it's really, really bright. I use a bunch of colors. in here lots of bright oranges and stuff. And I think maybe this person was just kind of unlucky to have like one of the upper rooms or the tower rooms, because it seems like they really like, bright spaces, but they just got a little bit unlucky with that. Oh well. Okay, so this next person's, I kind of saw them as like an artist. An artist, and they have a very nice apartment. They have like a whole living room area where they can also work and do their art, and it's kind of cozy. They have a big bookcase, and then in here I put a single bed to make lots more storage, because I also like to do art, and I always need a ton of storage to store all my art supplies, canvases, all that stuff. And so I figured they also need more space, so I gave them a smaller bed than most of the other folks in here, and then plopped in a bunch of storage, and of course some plants to make it a little bit more homey and lively. And then the bathroom is the same deal as most of the other folks. I think I do something a bit different here. I just put in a shelf. In residences you can also hang things. Maybe not so much a shelf, but they did what they did. They're gonna beg for forgiveness. They're going to beg for forgiveness rather than ask for permission. And so they'll be filling those holes in when they move out, for sure. Like the holes in the in the L brackets. From drilling them into the wall. And this person who lives here, at first I was going more for a moody industrial feel for this one, but I actually changed my mind, and I kind of make this person like both an astronomer and an astrologer. Yeah, and so now I'm doing their main bedroom area, and this part has a lot more kind of like astrology stuff than the closet and the bathroom. I mean, I think that makes sense. That would make sense. But I also kind of surprised myself with using these base game curtains, which I, again, never use, so look at me go. And then I clutter it up with some sort of like antique items, and in this little corner, I put in is it like the fortune-telling table? Or the seance table. I think that's what this is called. And so I put that in there, so maybe they like help the students in this residence, and they sort of read their stuff. What is it called? Yeah, they help them out with their purpose in life. No, that's not right. But yeah, that's the room where the bed is kind of wonky, and you might need to delete some plants or that big red stool to get it to work. And then now we are on to the musician's room. Oh my god, this one's kind of wild. I'm pretty sure whoever lives here is either rich or on a very, very nice scholarship, because they have a full-on grand piano in their room, which is wild. Never met such a person to be able to do that. Actually, one of my former roommates, had a treadmill in their room. Yes, there was a gym in our residence's basement, but they also wanted, it wasn't a treadmill, I think it was an elliptical. Yeah, they had an elliptical in their bedroom. And their bedroom became my bedroom, and I can tell you that was not a big bedroom. Like, their elliptical definitely took up like half the room. But yeah, they had it there, which was wild. Yeah, they were definitely one of the wealthier students that lived in the residence. But yeah, it's definitely not a baby grand or a grand piano. But having an elliptical in your room is commitment, and also a privilege. And then this person also has an organ. That's how fancy they are. They just need to play all the instruments. Mostly because I didn't really want to make that little nook like another closet, and so I was like, I'm gonna put an organ in there, a full-on organ. Yeah. And then I decorated this person's apartment with like a lot of like old art, because I feel like that's what they would be into, and that's also what they could afford. So that's what I did. Trying to shake things up for myself. Okay, so this, I believe, is the last bedroom, and how I wanted to go a little bit more industrial for that astronomer/astrologer's apartment. Didn't end up going that route. So this one, I kind of was like, okay, we're doing it for this one. It's going to be a little bit more modern and chic and kind of industrial feeling-ish. I put that bookcase from university that has like the pipe and the cinder blocks on the bottom, and that kind of gave it an industrial feel, sort of. And then also that other bookcase as well. But yeah, I just thought also that this person loved books and they wanted all the books in their apartment. Same, I would want the same. And then I also put in like a little bit of clutter on their bed. So like maybe they journal in bed and they read. And so I did that. And, just to round them out a little bit more, I put in some photography things as well for them. And that clock wall is absolutely unnecessary, but I thought it was so cute. Just like some clock decoration. Also functional because you can tell the time. Maybe they want to tell the time in different time zones. They could do that. Yeah. Yeah, and then of course the bathroom is the same deal. I just put in a lot more black and dark blues in there to make it a little bit more moody. And we're just putting in some final bits and bobs in here and just cluttering it up a little bit more, making sure everybody has a hamper. I might have forgotten some, don't worry, I put them in off camera. So that's it for me. If you would like to download this build off the gallery, my EA ID is Builds with Coffee. That's Builds with Coffee, all lowercase, no spaces. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll jump right into the screenshots. Bye!